Hey Jacksonville, welcome to this week's Weekend Design. Normally by this time of the year, we're looking at temperatures down in the 60s, but right now we're still in the 80s. That doesn't mean though that you can't start planning your winter wardrobe and sprucing it up with accessories like a scarflet. So we're here at Anomaly and 5 Points, and the owner, Emily Moody, is gonna teach us how to make this pretty little scarflet. Let's go inside.
Today we're gonna make a scarflet. You need recycled sweaters, vintage buttons or new, I prefer vintage, needle and thread, sewing machine, you're good to go. You wanna just lay your sweater out. You can kind of wrap it around your neck and get a visual for how long you want your piece. I would just layer them one on top of the other and cut the sloppy rectangle. It does not have to be perfect. You're just gonna go back and trim around everything at the end anyway. So I just cut the very bottom off my sweater. So then you're gonna get a nice little like rib on the bottom there and that ribbing there. And then you're ready to sew. I like to put it on zigzag stitch, and you do it on a wide stitch, and then you just start stitching. You want to get it as close to the edge as possible, and the more you pull, the more of a ruffle it's going to create. This is basically similar to serging, except without a serger. So now we've sewn around all 4 sides of our ruffle scarflet. I'm just gonna go back to the edges and trim it up. If you get close enough when you're stitching it, you don't even really need to trim it up. It's really all up to the maker. You can't mess this project up. You can make it your own with your own style. You go with it, and that's what gives it that whimsical feel, I think. So that's the body of your scarflet. Now all you need to do is add a buttonhole and add your button, and you're ready to rock and roll. So now I'm gonna figure out where I wanna put my button, right about here. If you wanna mark it with a pen, or you can just hold it with your finger. So there really aren't any measurements for this project, since it's all your personal preference. Oh, you may wanna pick out your button beforehand, so you'll know how wide to do your buttonhole. There's so many pretty buttons. I love buttons, I don't know why. I'm gonna go with this nice little black number. It's faceted and dressier, and I think it'll look really nice on the gray, even though that was a close second. So remember when you're doing your buttonhole that since sweaters stretch, it is gonna stretch through, and you don't wanna make your hole too wide because otherwise it's not gonna stay fastened. I usually like to go twice around doing my buttonholes. And you want to go pretty slowly. You can just seam rip or cut your buttonhole open. And just be careful not to cut the threads on either side, because that'll make your buttonhole fray. There we go. Now all we need to do is sew our button on. I'm going to measure this one more time around my neck. I'm gonna sew my button right there. Stitch this button down pretty good. You don't want it popping off when you're trying to keep your neck warm. Now you're ready for your first fall day. The best part, it's quick and easy, but it makes a nice statement. So cute. You can throw it with a tank top or a short sleeve t-shirt and a jacket, and then at least keep your neck warm when it's a little bit cooler out without bundling up with a giant scarf. Total time for an inexperienced crafter to experienced crafter, under an hour. Cost, under $5 for sure. If you wanted to add some embellishments or any trims or anything, that would be at your discretion, but otherwise, a couple bucks. You can make 10 of these in a weekend, not just one. If you're interested in cool independent design, check out Anomaly. We're open 11 to 6, Monday through Saturday. We also do private parties, craft nights, girls' nights. Check our blog, anomaly5points.blogspot.com, for more information.
Thanks, Emily. For more Weekend Design, be sure to check Jacksonville.com every week. For Jacksonville.com, I'm Amanda Warford.